Since 1945, Weatherby's been building the finest firearms and ammunition in the world. And today, we're proud to continue that legacy from our facility in Sheridan, Wyoming. This is On Our Mark, the Weatherby Podcast.
Welcome back to On Our Mark, the Weatherby Podcast. Today, we are talking about quarter bore, specifically Weatherby's 17th cartridge introduction, the 25 RPM. We're going to jump into the nuts and bolts of what makes that cartridge. We're going to talk about why we didn't just do a fast twist 257. And we're going to talk with our lead ballistician, John Baumgartner. First time on the podcast?
First time.
I've been wanting to get you on here for like 4 years, maybe 6.
I finally got him to do it.
Yeah, he did.
You did.
Yeah. But this is one you're excited about, so it makes sense.
I'm really excited about this one. I've been with it from the beginning, so.
I think a bit of credit to the 25 RPM should probably go your direction. I remember you were like, hey, I got to show you something.
Yeah. It's changed since then, modified, I think, for the better. I think now is a really good time for it to come out. We've got some more bullet options, actually some better powder options for it, really. And we modified a few things from the first one I showed you.
Yeah.
I think for the better, I do. There's going to be some people that look at think, I wish they wouldn't have done that. But I think when they really look at it, they'll understand.
Well, let's start at 257 because we already have the fastest 25 cal out there
Right.
with the 257 Weatherby. One of the requests since I've gotten here, and probably for decades prior, well, maybe not because there weren't that many high BC bullets back decades ago, but with 25 Creed coming out, there's been quite a few new high BC 25 cal projectiles on the market. So we get this request about why don't we make a 1-8 or 1-7.5 twist 257 barrel. There's reasons.
There's reasons.
There's actually quite a few reasons. Simply put, the existing projectiles that we have would probably have a hard time in a fast twist configuration on the really light end of the spectrum.
Correct.
We also have some SAMI cartridge overall length issues. We also potentially have some magazine fitment issues because
Correct.
Those high BC projectiles typically are substantially longer than their not so high BC counterparts.
Correct. All correct.
So that led us down the path, even though for years we wanted to do a fast twist 257, but we were like, I don't know. So John comes to me one day and says, the 6.5 RPM case is pretty darn close to the case capacity of a 257 Weatherby. And I'm like, say more.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, the bullet technology, too, that you're talking about. The options that we're going to come out with probably weren't even bullets 3 or 4 years ago, like, on the market. Just how that heavy, and like, that's just something that was a constraint forever.
Yeah.
Until, it's kind of crazy to think 257's been the fastest 25 on the market since the 40s.
Yeah.
For a long time.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
So maybe just walk us through some of your thought process early on, John, about why you were intrigued by necking down a 6.5 RPM case to a 25, and what were you thinking?
Well, for me, I'm a kind of background, what I get into as far as hand loading and stuff. I've been a fan of 280 Ackley, P.O. Ackley.
Mm-hmm.
He modernized the 280 a lot when he made the 280 Ackley. Now, Nosler took it on and made it SAMI approved and modified it a little bit. But you look at that cartridge and its efficiency and its shoulder and everything about that cartridge they did a good job. And we're talking a long time ago. So I look at that a lot, and I look at 6.5 RPM. I think 6.5 RPM, the rebated rim, the capacity, its ability is pretty special. It falls into the same category. And I think where these came from was 284 Win, which was another one. That's the base cartridge really for 6.5 RPM. It's everything, the measurements on the rebated rim, the diameter of the case, all of that is the same. That's where it came from. And then It got necked down. Norman necked it down to 6.5, made 6.5 284, and that's a pretty special cartridge in my mind. When I look at it,
Sure.
that's pretty special to me. It's done well. There's some hunting.
What? So, just for clarity, what when you say it's special, I think I know what you mean. But what do you like about it? That like what makes it special to your heart?
Just the modern. It's modern. The shoulder on it is, I think it's 35 degree. Just maximize case capacity out of a nice sized cartridge, and it works well. Works well in a gun. It's not short and fat. It's not long and skinny.
Yeah.
It does well. Feeds well. Everything works.
It's a
well.
good balance of efficiency,
exactly.
speed,
That's
usage of the volume.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought you meant. But.
Yeah, the word efficiency really pops in my head when I think of like the 6.5 RPM, and this 25 RPM is just, it's really using all that powder in there
Correct.
and putting it downrange fast. Like
Yep.
we could have made things a lot faster, right?
Yeah.
You could load them super hot, but
versus
it's
a 6.5 300, which is not necessarily efficient because of the law of diminishing returns on Magnum performance.
yeah. So it kind of puts it all together, which I think efficient is the word.
Correct. And that's my thing. 280 Ackley, 6.5 284, very, very efficient cartridges, modern and efficient. There's others. I mean, real short, I struggle with real short, fat cartridges. For me, just they're cool, but they can bring other problems, especially when you've been involved in production building rifles and production building ammo.
Mm-hmm.
For a hand loader, all of that stuff's really cool, and I get it, but I think differently since I came here. I'm still a hand loader, but when we're looking at a cartridge, we're looking how it works in a rifle and also how we can load it in production. Those things all, it's a package
Specifically,
deal.
Cartridge feeding is
Yes,
very important
very
to
big.
us. Yeah.
Learned early on with 6.5 RPM there. We fought that one for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So that, when I first looked at 25 RPM, first thing you think about is let's just neck it down. Keep all the case capacity, let's just neck it down to 25. Seemed like the logical thing, especially being a Weatherby, keep the case capacity. One thing on 6.5 RPM, and of course it came out 2019,
Yep.
2020. Some of the bullets weren't available that are available now. When you design a cartridge that's going to be to load in production and SAMI approved, you set a max cartridge overall length. And part of that is your rifles will set that, our 6 lug. We for feeding ability. And we're a little short on what I call nose length, how much room we have out front of the cartridge.
On the 6.5.
On the 6.5. I mean, we've got a 156 burger in there. We've got it seated about as deep as we can seat it, but we can fit it in there.
Yep.
Works really well. It's a really good combination. If anything bigger and longer comes out there, we're about to our limit to where we can load it. Hand loaders could do it. It's wonderful there. So that was in the back of my mind. So what we did is we bumped the shoulder back on the 25 RPM to give ourselves more room.
Yeah. Just a hair.
Just a hair.
Yep.
So I really appreciate that. I like that aspect of it, to be honest with you. Gives us a lot of room. We've got room for we get some better quarter bore bullets out there. We'll have some room to play with. So
There's been, like I said, with the 25 Creedmoor coming out, there's been quite a few new, and there's more coming that we can't even talk about yet.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think where it's at, everything put together, I mean, we're running a 133 grain bullet at 3,000 feet per second out of a 24-inch barrel.
Yeah.
3,000 feet per second is kind of a special number for everybody. So if you can do that and do it efficiently, that's pretty special.
Yeah, I was studying up on some of those ballistic charts, and it's interesting because you're like, well, out of a 100 or 110 grain out of a 257, you might be pushing 3,500 out of the same barrel, and I'm like, okay, what does that mean downrange? And it was depending on the bullet, what you're comparing. For 500 yards, the 25 RPM actually outpaced the 257. And then if you use the 1,800 foot-pounds of kinetic energy with, 1,200 foot-pounds of kinetic energy with 1,800 FPS, you have a ethical kill range on 25 RPM that for most of them are an extra 100 yards past 257. Which is pretty wild.
That is pretty wild.
That is wild.
Looking with like looking at your charts and stuff, that having a G7 BC, I think the 133 burger is got 1,200 foot-pounds energy out to 700 yards, which for a 25 cal bullet,
that's a lot.
That's pretty far.
That's pretty cool.
So
yeah, I mean, you're not going to make up for what 2D7 Weatherby does at like 100 yards just with sheer velocity when you talk about an energy number. But as far as maintaining that energy downrange, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Ballistic coefficient goes a long way.
Literally, yeah.
See what I did there?
I did. That was a great dad joke.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So, okay, this is like a relevant thing. How would you compare the 25 RPM to the 25 Creedmoor? Because that came out this year.
Correct. 25 Creedmoor's like Hornady does. They do things very well. I think it's a good cartridge. I think they did a good job. 6.5 Creedmoor's popular. Why change it very much?
Right.
I think they've done a good job on it. I mean, I'm sure it'll do well.
I think similar to how there is a 6.5 Creedmoor and 6.5 RPM, it's similar performance advantage from a 25 Creed to the 25 RPM. You get several hundred feet per second more. You're burning more powder to get that. But if you're just going to go to the range and plank a whole bunch, the Creedmoor is probably for you. But if you're looking to kill stuff, which most of us are here at Weatherby, more focused on hunting efficacy, I think the 25 RPM has a lot to offer.
I agree. Just that 200 feet, just right there, I think, with the heavies.
Yeah, their 134 ELDM is about 2,800 feet per second on the muzzle versus a 133 burger that we're going to load in 25 RPM is right at that 3,000 mark.
Correct.
So.
Yeah. And if I did my math right, I believe the RPM case is almost 40% more capacity.
Correct.
So you need that much more powder to get a couple hundred extra feet. So that's that law of diminishing returns on you. Burning more powder isn't always the answer, but it's wild that it takes that much more powder to push it. Speaking of, what is the case capacity?
72 and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what is a Creedmoor? It's like 54 or something like that. Is that what it is?
52.5.
52.5.
And a 257 is 84.
Yeah. Average.
So, yeah, I mean, we're 10 grains away.
Yeah.
12 grains away from 2D7. And
I think for the hand loaders out there are going to be really excited about the 25 RPM. We've got a lot of capacity to work with for them. It's going to be pretty special. Some of the numbers we see that are going to come from it, velocities.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're staying somewhat on the conservative side. I try to stay there.
Which we always do, and as a manufacturer, we got to make sure everything we make is safe and conservative. For sure.
I think there's room to play.
Yeah, and you were saying that 25 RPM with all the powders and all the things you're playing with has been super forgiving. So one of the unique things on 25 RPM is we're not just only loading heavy projectiles. It does pretty darn well on the lighter side too. Correct. So we're going to be able to push some pretty fun feet per seconds even on factory ammo.
Yep. And our lowest right now is 107 grains. You could go down into the 90s and like the 92 hammer we run at 257. There's some real velocity there.
You could probably get that one moving.
Yes.
And usually on the hammer bullets, you don't really have stabilization issues on your twist.
Correct.
That'd be fun.
That one would be.
You haven't done that yet?
Yeah, I've done. Early. We looked at it early because this cartridge, when we started, we were a little bit different than we are now.
Yeah, sure.
Capacity was down.
Yeah. From
what it is now. So I looked at it pretty hard then, but as we revved it, revised it, then I kind of started focusing on, got an idea what we wanted to run for bullets, and I really focused there. I wanted to get as much data as I could
Yeah.
on the bullets we wanted, the powders we wanted to run. So I focused there. We will do some more things
Yeah.
once we get this thing going and shoot some light bullets and see how fast we can get out of it. It's going to be special.
So this is a little bit of a peek behind the curtain of Weatherby, but typically when we're putting a new cartridge like this together, John works up a ton of different recipes and loads, and as he's trying to figure out what that load development is, he's logs all kinds of information. He's got these great spreadsheets. And then we kind of review as a team or committee, like, okay, here's what I'm finding. For whatever reason, this bullet didn't perform how I would like to have seen it, or whatever the case is. And then we kind of go through of what our top ones are. And John typically has a pretty good idea of what he really likes. Typically ends up being a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to be there.
So what's the lineup?
Lineup again. So again, with 25, it's pretty unique that it does compare to some of the lighter caliber stuff too. So we're going to start with a 107 hammer, a 117 Hornady SST,
correct,
a 117 Barnes, which is kind of a fun one. We should talk about that one just because we got to do some development with them.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have a 133 Burger.
Yeah. That one's the highest BC.
Highest BC and heavy, man.
It's
Yeah.
a 5. What's the BC on that?
512.
Yeah, it's up there for a 25 cal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
Super cool. I just realized we were talking about fast twist, but I don't think I actually said the official twist rate. It's a 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah. So if you're wondering, and a 257 is a 10.
10.
So quite a bit faster on a 25 RPM.
Yeah, and pretty cool. Just even I guess we maybe should have said this at the beginning, but I think it really does take the best of 257 and 25 Creedmoor, like with the cartridge fitting into our 6-lug receiver too, versus 257s and a 9-lug. So it kind of takes that faster twist rates of the Creedmoor, but gets the speeds kind of from that 257 side.
Right.
So
there's definitely been a trend towards like heavy for caliber bullets in the past. What's your just like personal experience with those as you've seen, like performance wise? You get paid to do what most people that are listening do for fun.
Correct. I'll be honest with you. The 133 Burger has been special from the first iteration. It's been, I don't know why, but been accurate all the way through.
No matter what you did.
No matter what I did. It doesn't really care what powder I'm running in it, which is really special. Usually a high BC bullet like a Burger can be what I call picky on powder. Sometimes we have to use a really good stick powder to make it really good.
Yeah.
And sometimes we got to give up a little velocity sometimes to do that. But on this one, I'm running 4 different powders most of the time with all the bullets, and the Burger likes them all, to be honest with you. There's some difference in velocity, but that's pretty special. 25 RPM has been very forgiving in that way, friendly, loader friendly.
Yeah.
So that's special to me too.
Well, there's 2 types of loader friendly too, right? There's kind of home loader friendly, and there's production
and I'm
friendly.
I'm looking at from both too.
Yeah.
I was going to bring that up because that's really special to us. We have to be careful what powders we're running in production. When you're trying to make a round a second, everything needs to work right. You need to be able to measure powder correctly and accurately. So
it's got to be able to drop
correctly
and repeatably.
Yep.
So there's some that do that better than others.
Correct. But sometimes with, say, a picky bullet in a cartridge, some of those powders don't work as well. And here they're working really well. So that's special.
Yeah. You are probably the one that turned us on to the hammer bullets. Not probably. John, you are the one that turned us on to the hammer bullets. Tell me about the hammer option in the or 25 RPM.
The 107, Hammer calls it an HBC, high BC bullet. It's kind of their first trek off into high BC bullets. They have really, it's one of the things that it drew me to them, is terminal performance was their number one thing. They're hunters. These guys are hunters.
Like
What
over anything else.
over anything else, and I appreciated that. There was guys coming out about the same time with lathe turned bullets and high BC and putting tips on them and saying they're hunting bullets, but these guys stuck to it. I mean, they were hollow point forever, and they did a lot of testing, and they've done a lot of testing on game, and just recently really started coming out with a tip on their bullets. They said originally when we first started running bullets they probably wouldn't do it just because they were worried about terminal performance was their big concern. So, but as they've moved forward, they've done a lot of testing, started tipping some bullets. But this is really their first taking off into a higher BC bullet, playing in that game. And so they've got one or two in each caliber now out there performing really well.
So this is our first tipped hammer.
This is their first high BC tipped hammer.
Yeah, and it's our first hammer.
It
with a
is
tip
our first tipped
in our
hammer.
lineup. Yeah.
We've done some testing on some and like what we've seen, but this one is actually be the first one we put out there.
So that one's a good kind of hybrid. It's still
It's
going fast.
to me, and it's what they like to do is like to go light and fast. It's
Yeah.
kind of an old school mentality, but they struggle with weight sometimes. Just being all copper, they don't have the lead part of it. So.
Sure, it's less dense.
But they like to push them, and they, as you guys know, they're accurate.
Yeah. And this one for us is 3,300 feet per second, too, on the 107 that we're going to offer. So that's scooting.
That is scooting.
That is good.
Pretty cool.
It is cool. It is a cool bullet.
Do you remember what kind of velocity you were getting with the 92?
I hate to step out there too much, but
I mean, I'm not going to hold you to
34, probably pushing up at 35
it. Yeah.
out of
pretty cool.
24 inch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah. And we know that 92, how it is in 257, it's wonderful. So here it would be really good.
Yeah. So when we launch a new cartridge, we like to have at least one all copper option for states that require that, California. Then we have typically like a more traditional cup and core bullet, which would be the SST. And then this one's kind of, we broke the mold a little bit past that because usually we'll have like a premium bonded bullet, but we went in favor of the more high BC version.
Yep.
So kind of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the Barnes.
Yeah, the Barnes one's kind of cool. I know, John, you got to work with their team a lot because
Correct.
when the 25 Creedmoor launched, I guess when did that launch? Last fall?
This spring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So when 25 Creedmoor launched, Barnes
Spring of 25. This is going to come out, in 26.
26. So yeah. So Barnes hadn't really developed a 25 cal for Creedmoor. So we also let them know that we were working on this. So you got to do a lot of testing. And I don't know if technically the bullet's out, but Dale from Barnes told me I could talk about it as much as I wanted to. So it's out now.
Well,
so.
now we'll make them do it. That's perfect.
Yeah. No, it's been cool to work with them. I mean, the first bullets we got from them didn't even have a tip on them. That's where we started. They sent them to us. I try them out, see what you see. The second version came with a clear tip. I should have brought some clear tip, and they actually put that tip on and machined that tip off in a lathe.
Oh, no kidding.
So that was pretty cool.
That is cool.
So now it's
Yeah, and it ended up being it's an LRX, right?
It's an LRX.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Which those have just always been consistent, and it seems like we have an LRX in just about every one of our Weatherby cartridges.
Quite a few. Yeah.
Between the TTSX and the LRX, those two do really well. So this is a really good place for the LRX. TTSX would be a very good option here, but the higher BC LRX, we're getting everything out of it. So I think it's going to do really well. It's been consistent. So, yeah. We're still a little bit on the fence. They're actually designing the tip, a special tip for this one, the profile of the tip. So their BCs, haven't dialed it in 100% yet. So, but it's going to be good.
Yeah, that's cool.
One thing I've noticed, we get a lot of different data points from different things. Obviously, we know how much ammo we sell. We know what rifles we sell and what they're chambered in. One thing that started in, it probably would have been mid-2023 and then all through 24 and 25, in Vanguards, we've seen a pretty big jump in 25-06 rifle sales. And a year and a half ago, I'm like, why are we seeing the 25-06 spike up? But there's definitely a quarter bore thing going on.
Sure, there sure is. Definitely.
How would you compare this to the 25-06?
We're running a little more. We've got a little more capacity there. 25-06 is a cool cartridge. When it came out was, I mean, same type of deal. 30-06 to 25, a lot of years ago. I mean, and it's held its own through all of this. So I think we're faster twist.
Yeah.
Able to run the heavies, which anybody with a hand loader, the 25-06, they're not going to run whatever it's rated at, a 10 twist, whatever it is, they're going to be run fast.
Yeah, they're going to do what they want.
Exactly,
right.
Exactly. So, but we do have some more capacity there.
Yeah, I guess if you were trying to compare like a velocity apples to apples, 110 ELDX is 29.25 on muzzle velocity. So if you kind of compare that to the 107 hammer, we're flying pretty quick.
Yeah.
There. So
that's
like, again, yeah, I would say that's like the interesting thing is you got kind of the slower twist 25s to compare to, and then you have that faster twist stuff to compare to. So it's kind of two different categories.
Well, it's tough to do apples to apples, and that's kind of the reason that a lot of these different, somewhat similar, at least at surface level, things exist.
Yeah.
What are we missing, guys? Oh, let's just talk about. Well, you talked about how it's friendly for reloading, but I mean, if you're interested in kind of tinkering with what kind of performance you can get out of a 25 cal, if all you want is case capacity, do your own fast twist. I can't say that today. Fast twist 257. But if you want a factory option that's pretty dialed and you want to be able to hand load and or buy factory ammo that John has already done all the homework for, the 25 RPM's pretty sweet option.
Yeah, I jokingly always say I don't hand load because I know I can't hand load better than John. So so I'm a non-hand loader guy. So
well, we try to make it that way so you don't have to. So, and I think we've got a crew down there that does a really good job. So,
ooh, I know a question that a lot of customers are going to ask. What is your thoughts on recoil management? People are going to say, like, how hard does this thing kick?
Yeah, it's a good question.
It is a good question, and I think people are going to be excited there. I'd put it 240 Weatherby.
Yeah.
That's where I'd put it,
yeah,
maybe.
That's about right.
But, we're running light gun. It'll be most of the time in a light gun, which fits it very well, I think. Great caliber for a light gun.
You've shot a lot of targets. Have you been able to shoot any animals with it yet?
I haven't.
Not yet?
No.
I shot an axis deer.
Nice. Yeah. That was the first thing, right?
Yeah.
It was. Yeah.
Nice.
Did great.
There's been some shot. I haven't done it, but I think we're having pretty good luck with it.
Yeah. And then we hosted a writers event, media event, whatever you want to call it, back in October where we introduced 25 RPM to some of the antelope of Wyoming. They didn't like it.
Yeah, they did not. It was bad medicine for them.
And then you guys took some to Nebraska.
Yeah, so I feel a little spoiled. As soon as I knew 25 RPM was a thing, I was like, what samples can I get? Because I shot an antelope, a whitetail, and a mule deer with it this year.
Oh, man, you did a trifecta.
I did, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was all over the place this year.
Do you have the most then?
That's got to be. Maybe Adam. Adam's killed a bunch of stuff too, right?
Yeah.
Kind of.
I don't know if he's done 3.
Nah, definitely not. No, I'm on top right now.
Deer, antelope.
Yeah. Whitetail, mule deer.
Yeah, that's. I think you got it.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Dang.
I've had. I think everything's gone combined like 25 yards, so it's been pretty awesome. I've used the burger, and the barns, and then I've seen just a lot of.
You've definitely seen the
I've
most.
seen a ton die.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw a bunch of antelope this year die. So
that's a great thing about antelope camp. So you can just see a bunch of the work happen.
Yeah, well, it's fun to see terminal performance we had in that camp. Everyone shot a different thing, so I know like
everybody shot a different bullet.
Yeah. So 2 guys shot barns, 2 guys shot the 107 hammer, and 2 guys shot burgers, and it was pretty cool to get to see just how every bullet kind of performs different, but all the same end result.
Yeah.
I mean, that burger is pretty violent, so it's just like shot placement to me on a burger makes you have to be very precise on it, so you're not wasting any meat or anything like that. But devastating. Like David Draper shot an antelope, and I mean, he had to have hit that thing square in the middle of the heart, but there wasn't a heart left.
Yeah.
When I shot a whitetail this year, actually I was using a Barnes on that. That's probably why it didn't blow up. But when we went to gut the deer, the heart was like perfectly intact and was detached.
Just not attached.
Yeah, because we were pulling it out to be like, I was like, oh, we're not going to be able to have heart appetizers tonight. But it was just like perfectly cut off, so it was pretty cool.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I had some similar experience with the burger. Some people love them. Some people hate them for this reason, but they do create some extra burger.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
they kill well.
They do kill.
Yeah.
I mean, I shot my mule deer at just under 200 yards and didn't hit the shoulder, put it right where it needed to be. But I mean, I found a hunk of lung, like between the 10 yards of him dying and then rolling down the hill. So it was just pretty incredible to just see him like not go very far.
Yep.
And you in your guide days, John, you were telling me, you're like, man, you've seen a lot of
Experienced
things.
a lot of that.
With burgers.
The interesting, the heart coming out of when I shot my bighorn sheep 20-some years ago, but with 7
That
rim
was a
mag.
flex right there.
Yeah.
7 rim mag with a 168 VLD burger, and same thing. And I hit that ram, not great, high back and high in a horrible spot, to be honest with you. But that burger helped me out a bunch. When we gutted him, same thing. And I was high and back. I was in what I call no man's land. I was above the lungs and back.
Yeah, that is no man's
And when
land.
we gutted him, his heart fell out, and it was just like that.
There's just so much energy in there. Yeah.
Hydrostatic shock on that bullet is amazing.
Yeah, it just deploys instantly,
Yeah.
and it's it's bad. It's bad.
It's nice to have some burger fans around here. When I first walked in the door here, I was a burger guy. I'd guided with them, and my experience has been really good. And I walked in, and there wasn't too many fans of burger bullets at Weatherby at that time. We were loading a few, hunting with a few, but
the reason, we have a lot of meat hunters.
Yep.
And
I get that side of it.
Depending on where you shoot, it's a good chance you lose a whole quarter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But if you kind of think about your path through the animal, kind of like an archery situation, it's preventable.
Shot placement's like number one with it in my mind.
Yeah.
Stay off the shoulder, behind the shoulders, and it'll treat you right.
Yeah. Quartering away, quartering
to, but very seldom did I ever have to chase one. Put it that way. And very seldom do we have to put 2 in one. So
there's some guide speaking right there.
Yeah, exactly
sure.
right. Yeah.
All right, John, your chance for any final thoughts on 25 RPM.
One final thought. We kind of stepped around, and I think it's going to have a really special place. I think this is a varmint getting machine. I do. I think it's going to be.
Oh, yeah.
As long it's not a 22 caliber, it's a 25 that we can hunt a lot of things with. But as far as predator hunting, I think this thing's going to be awesome.
Yeah, well, opposite of the burger, the hammer bullets, usually they don't do that kind of explode. They kill well, but if you're looking to preserve hide, hammer's a really good option, or the Barnes.
Yeah.
So
one of my good buddies, I just sent him, he lives in Alaska. I sent him that Alpine MDT carbon with 107 hammers, and they're going to try to get after some wolves.
That's
so
cool.
I'm like, ooh, that is the combo right there. So I'm really hoping, I guess we're a month prior to release date. So hopefully by release date, he'll have some cool stuff.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Well, if you want to learn more about 25 RPM, jump on weatherby.com. When this comes out, I assume we're going to have some great information out there. When this comes out also, we're going to have some new rifles to talk about. So we didn't even talk about that.
We didn't.
Can we? Is that even a thing?
I think let's leak just a little bit. I think one of the coolest things about 25 RPM is every other cartridge that we've launched has always been only Mark V.
Yeah.
So with 307, we're going to be able to launch this at 307 too, or in the 307 lineup. So, I mean, you can essentially get into a 25 RPM, give this thing a try from $1,000 and up instead of it being a Mark V, which is typically, in that $2,500 and up range.
Yep.
So I think it'll be a lot more, it'd be easier for people to get into a rifle if they're like, I don't know if I want to spend that much, but I want to get into it and start playing with it.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, you could get a range XP in 25 RPM for $1,200, and you're off to the races.
yeah. So I'm excited about that. And we have some real lightweight options, but we can kind of leave it at that. I mean, we're about a week away from when this podcast launches to being able to talk about that one. So,
Dang. Stay tuned.
yeah.
We're not done.
No.
Yeah, January through about February. If you like new stuff, it's about to be real fun.
John, what's next? Don't answer that. Don't answer it.
There's some stuff going. Exciting stuff.
Not to sound like we're trying to pat ourselves on the back, but it's been fun. I remember going back. I joined Weatherby in 2018 in the middle of our move, and Adam was like, we got to do this Mark V backcountry. We're also working on a new cartridge. Oh, yeah, and 3/4 of the team is leaving and only 25% are staying, and we're going to have to hire all these people and figure all this out. In the meantime, I'm like, this guy's a little bit nuts. And then, man, I got into it, and we had so much fun with the 6.5 RPM and the original Mark V backcountry, and we learned a ton in that process. But that was just like kind of set the tone for Weatherby in Wyoming. Like, we did a whole lot while we were also doing a whole lot. So there's like a lot to production, a lot to move at that time, and then a whole lot of R&D. And we're not letting up the gas kind of on the R&D side of things. So we do have a pretty full hopper for, as far out as I can see.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun. John, you got good job security.
I hope so. It's been a privilege to do what I do.
Same.
It really has.
Same. Pretty cool. Like I
Yeah.
said, we have, and admittedly, we have really neat jobs that a lot of people that listen to this podcast, it's a hobby for them.
Yeah.
Or else they probably wouldn't listen. And we get to play with it every day. It's pretty
Yep.
awesome.
It
We're
is
blessed for sure.
Yep.
Thanks for being on. We're going to have you on again.
Yeah, this was great.
is
You
happening.
did so good.
I don't know.
We don't even have to edit anything.
I don't know.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.